You join me on Glover's Lake down at Baden Hall, which is a lovely little 6-acre pit. Not too sure of the numbers of stock, but there's some absolutely mega fish in here. This is my 4th session of the year. My sessions consist of 24 hours a week, something new for me, but I've managed to work out and family life out to make that possible. So yeah, this is the 4th session and we've just had our first fish, which is a lovely 33-pound mirror. I'll be honest with you, I didn't feel very close last night, but yeah, we've had one this morning and it's turned out to be an absolute minter of a fish. There we go, 33-pound on the nose, Glover's mirror. What a lovely way to finish March. This is new to me, the vlogging, but yeah, decided to try and document these 24-hour sessions. Let's get him turning around. An absolutely beautiful fish. Cannot grumble at that. Came up with a little bit of a plan at the beginning of the year, which was to start on here, try and catch a 30 out of here, and then move on to the quarry lake, which is just over the road or over the track, and then try and catch a few out of there. Fingers crossed, we are hoping for a 40-pound common this year, which is a big ask, I know, but there's quite a few to go at in quarry. So yeah, I'm going to go through my first 3 sessions, what I've learned, what got me to catching a fish. I had a bait boat last year. I wanted to get to grips with that. I've not used it properly. Chose Glover's because it's a little bit smaller and some lovely fish in there. So yeah, did 4 nights on there in March. First session, there's a couple of lads already on, and then there was 3 of us coming on. I ended up in peg 5. Thought that'd be a decent peg. There's not masses of difference in water levels, depths. Foot here, foot there. But speaking to the chap at the office, he said the bloke in peg 3 had I think it was 3 or 4 fish, up to a 38-pound common, so mega result already. Didn't see anything. Just fished tiny little patches of bait. The chap in peg 3, he had another 2 fish. The biggest was a 30 and then a 40-pound mirror. Absolutely belting fish. So I was booked on for the week after. Obviously, wanting to try and get in peg 3. There was 3 of us going on. Got to come out last in the draw. So I ended up in peg 5 again. The lad who came out first, he went in 2. Second went in 3, obviously. And then I went in 5 again. Probably should have gone in 4. Knowing what I know now, the fish were definitely localised in front of 2, 3 and 4. There's a deeper section. It's probably only a foot deeper or a foot and a half deeper, but it made all the difference. The fish were definitely localised around that area. No one had anything that trip, but the lad before who'd done the weekend, he'd had 1 out of 3. So yeah, the little pattern was starting to occur. Fished the week after, so this is 3rd session. Come out first in the draw, managed to get in peg 3. Now on Glover's you can fish from one side of the bank, which now I'd say 90% of the people do, or you can go over. There's stakes in the ground that you know, allocate your swim. So I had a bright idea of going round the other side and just flicking them out instead of using the boat. Big mistake. Got round there, it was absolutely blowing a hooligan. Nearly got, literally at one point holding the bivvy down. Saw about 3 or 4 or 5 shows maybe. They were just out 10 yards past me. I was probably fishing at 30 yards. They were like at 40 yards. But being stubborn and stupid, I thought, oh, they'll creep up. Surely they'll creep to me. I'm 10 yards away. but they never did. That was a real chance missed. But you learn, and I did do. Following week, there was 3 blokes, and then me, and we just agreed. So I managed to get in 3 again. This time, fish from the normal bank, bowed across. And I kept the rigs in the 9-foot water. So that's like the deepest part, which was this gully or trough or whatever you want to call it. That was where they seemed to be localised. So yeah, I was absolutely buzzing. Rods went out sweet as a nut again, over a tiny little bit of bait. The salty sweet maize, a few crushed up boilies, that was it. Little wafters, job done. Got to about 6, 7 o'clock, I hadn't seen a thing. Previous week I started seeing them at about 4, 5. And I'm thinking, just my luck. I get in the swim, everything goes sweet as not. I feel a million miles away from them. Anyway, nothing happened. Didn't see anything. Sort of got me head down, that was that. Wasn't overly confident. Anyway, 4, 5. Rat rod, blitzed off. Mega battle. Fishing probably 80, 90 yards out. So yeah, it was a right good tussle. Got it all the way back, and it was an absolute stunning 33-pound mirror. So I'd learned through the sessions, learned that even the slightest of undulations, a foot difference, and that's where they were. Mega fish. What a start to the session. Last in the draw, but still managed to get into peg 12, which is still fishing in that central zone, which was a bonus. Fishing in peg 12, you can fish 25 wraps out. And so I wrapped up the rods, 25 wraps, put 2 4-foot zigs out, both on a bit of blacken with a bit of red. Put them out first, and I thought, right, I'm just going to sit and see if I can see anything, and then we'll go from there. Well, that was about, yeah, probably got sorted by about 11 o'clock. 1:30, right hand rod. Classic zig bite. Pulled into it. The wind was pulling as much as I was pulling, I suppose, as well. But gingerly led the fish back all the way. Probably about 10-15 minute battle. Very, very gingerly. But yeah, got it in the net, and opened my Baden Hall Quarry 2026 account with a lovely 35-pound con. Check this out. Oh yes. What a fish, hey? Get on the zigs. Look at that. Absolutely mega. Blown away. Absolutely made up with that. What a way to start. Yes. So yeah, absolutely blown away. This is the second session on the quarry. I did Sunday night, Monday night last week, after being away with Ben at S&R Fisheries. I think I just fished a little bit too much, to be honest with you. I was in peg 5, fished long, put a little bit of bait out. One showed on me Sunday night, and then a couple showed around me, so I was thinking, we're in here. We're just going to carry on catching, because we caught a few from Sandpit at S&R. But nothing happened Sunday. I had to nip to work Monday. So I didn't commit a lot of bait to that first spot. And I didn't take enough time, to be honest. I was kicking myself. Didn't take enough time to make sure it was clean. I don't think I was presented as well as I could be. So I moved the spot ever so slightly. Found a clearer area. Again, didn't commit a lot of bait, 6 to 8 spots. One showed similar sort of time, 5:30. Again, I was like, oh, better spot, presented better. Nothing. But about 6:30, crikey, 50 yards out. So I wound one of the rods in and to put a long hinge on. I just started, well, fly fishing for them really. Flicking a light lead in this long hinge. going to pop up at them to no avail. In reality, I should have tried a zig, really. But yeah, you live and learn. So I think that's what sort of made me mind up before I got here. I was going to try the zigs, at least for today. I have found a spot at about 22 wraps, nice and clear. I've got a little bit of bait ready. I've got 2 rods ready. So if this wind does drop down, I might put 2 rods on the deck with just a little bit of bait over the top of them. And this is the bait we'll be applying. Nothing special. Just some maize that's been cooked in salt and some golden syrup. Some chopped up boilies. 2 types of boilies in there. One fish mealy called the KLF, and then one nutty bait called Nutty B. And then just probably a handful of pellets that have been soaked in cannulas. I won't apply a lot, 5-6 bombs max. Just enough to get you a bite in spring, because you don't want to be overfeeding them. Yeah, I still think there's another chance on the zigs, but with the chap next door having one on the deck, I feel like they might just have a little bit of a munch later on. So this is the rig we'll be deploying if we decide to put anything on the deck. We've got tubing, nano tubing there, tail rubber, lead clip, 4-ounce lead, 5 or 6 inches of stiff boom material, down to a Slip D multi-combi rig, I think he's called. Done really well on those. It's been written and filmed a million times, but that's what I'm using at the moment. And a lovely squid wafter. Pink's obviously a mega colour, and that one absolutely stinks. It's started life as a scent from hell, and then I've just been topping it up with the Supreme Squid. But I've nearly run out of that and you can't get it anymore, so it's a bit of a gutter. But I have got a few left. And that's what we'll be putting out on the dance floor if this wind ever stops. Fingers crossed. Or we'll be leaving 2 zigs out, which might not be a bad thing. Whoa, I think it's about 8 o'clock. I have managed to get 2 on the deck with 5 or 6 bombs over the top. Rightly or wrongly, we'll see. Seen 1 show, maybe 2 in front of peg 4. So yeah, being a bit quiet. We'll see what happens. Had a little bit of an occurrence on the right hand rod at 1:30. Nothing come of it. Yeah, I was up at about 6. Didn't see anything. Round the bottom bait rods in. About 8. Just blasted the jigs back out for the last few hours. Was it the right thing to do, put them on the bottom? Don't know. Worth a try. Yeah, afternoon bites seem to be common. So I'll just keep my eye on that. Try and get as much information as I can. Just having a chat with Dan the bailiff. Just try and glean a little bit of info off him. So it's just trying to piece it all together, really, isn't it? But yeah, I'm back next Tuesday for another 24-hour session. Then I go to Acton for a week with a couple of mates. So I'll be doing a vlog on that. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Mega result, £35 common. And we'll look forward to getting back next Tuesday. Oh, what a way to start. Get in.